So if the Clippers want to win it all and not just be a good team, a third, fourth seed in the West type team, here's the answer to the question. Blake has to go. Blake opts out, Blake has to go, and Carmelo has to come in. To me, this makes entirely too much sense for every party involved. Carmelo wants a big market. New York, it's worn out. It's over. Phil wants him out. Carmelo, it's time to go. Dictate where you go. Go to L.A. It's your big market. And this team needs a guy who wants the ball in his hands in the last 2 minutes. This team needs an alpha. All they have to say is, Carmelo, be you. You don't even have to adapt. That guy's been asking you to adapt for 3 years. That guy's been asking you to change who you are. We're not going to ask you to do that. You be you. Play with your buddy Chris. DeAndre will cover up for the defensive mistakes. This team, I'm not saying it beats the Warriors, but that's the kind of tweak, not a blow-up. That's the kind of tweak that makes the Clippers real.
Well, first of all, I want to just give, I think this is one of those rare moments where Will Kane deserves a round of applause. I mean, clearly he was watching me on SportsCenter, echoing every word that I said.
Did I know? No.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Just stop lying. Yeah, you did. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this. Will Kane is absolutely right because the head that should roll is Blake Griffin. Look, Blake Griffin is a star, but he hasn't proven to be a superstar. Some of the decent numbers are there, but Max, you know this better than most, doing afternoon drive here in Los Angeles for 5+ years. Blake Griffin hasn't been around when it counts most. He's not the individual that has elected to stop the bleeding. He has the talent to do it, but it hasn't seemed to reach fruition when it counts most. And due to the fact that you've never advanced past the semifinals of the Western Conference, particularly coming off that blown lead against Houston when you were up 3-1 a couple of years ago, Golden State's first year winning the championship when they hadn't learned how to win yet and they were still vulnerable to be had, and you blew that opportunity. It's one of those situations where I look at Chris Paul as one of the great floor generals this game has seen. DeAndre Jordan is a skywalker. He more than replaces Blake Griffin in terms of athleticism and the highlight reels and all of that other stuff. Now, what I would differ from you, Will, is this. As big as I am on Carmelo Anthony, and as much as I would love to see him with an elite point guard like Chris Paul and what he could do, I am of the mindset that Paul George would be a better fit if you could get him rather than Melo because of what Paul George does on the defensive side of the floor, and he could still do what he does offensively. Paul George is special, and he's younger, and he has fresher legs, and he plays better defense. Don't get me wrong, Melo's big time, and I'm not poo-pooing that because Melo's a big-time offensive player. But if I had the choice between the two, that's what I would do. But either way, we agree, Blake Griffin would need to be the one to go, and I think you got to get another executive in there so Doc Rivers can focus on the coaching and let somebody else assemble the roster.